STIM here. Check the video description if you'd like to support my channel. You've got Amazon affiliate links as well as donation links. Remove all dryer ductwork. So we're inside the laundry room. We're going to go ahead and remove this original 30-year-old vent hose into the wall. They've got some duct tape right around it. Let's go ahead and remove that. See behind it? We'll see they cut through the trim and the drywall, and there's an old elbow in there that we will remove from the crawl space. And inside the crawl space, we can go ahead and look inside and see behind the laundry room. So now let's go ahead and remove this 14-foot semi-rigid ductwork. This is 30 years old, you can tell. It's just in bad condition at this point. There's holes in it. It looks like there may have been a lint fire that occurred here, and it's because it looks like the owners never cleaned their ductwork, which is really bad. Any hard metal that you find from your old system, keep it because you can clean it and reuse it. Now we're outside, and this is the vent hood, and it's pretty, it's in rough condition. It's 30 years old, but it doesn't look as bad as the rest of the system, actually. Let's look inside and see how bad the buildup was. Oh my God, I see leaves in there. So you can tell that the previous owners never cleaned this. If you guys are interested, I can do a video explaining how to clean your dryer vent ductwork system. It's really easy and quite cheap too. Salvage and clean hard metal ducts. So this step is really easy. If you have any hard metal from your old system, use some cleaning vinegar, 6% acidity. Just douse it in the vinegar and then wipe it down with a towel, microfiber towel, or mechanic towel, whatever you have. And you can reuse it in your new system. It's that easy. Build metal elbow ductwork. So we're going to need 2 of these elbows. They are sheet metal. One will go in the laundry room in the wall, and the other will be attached to this hard metal that we've salvaged. Now, the first thing you want to do is just sort of fit it on. Make sure the crimped side is pointing out, and the other end will be crimped on the hard metal. Then you'll use some of this aluminum foil tape, and we're going to basically create a airtight seal. So here you can see this is how I just wrapped it around about twice. I may do it 3 times, and I'll use my fingers to get all the air pockets out. And again, we're just trying to create a pressurized system. If the system is pressurized, then the lint will go all the way through it, and the air coming out of the dryer will just push it all the way out. If it loses pressure, then obviously the lint gets trapped, and that's bad. Install Crawlspace exhaust vent ductwork. So we're in the crawl space. We're going to put our elbow from the crawl space up into that hole, and you can rotate it with your arm and your hand a little bit. Don't push it too far in because we're going to pull it down a little bit so that we can get our hard metal elbow up in there as well as secured with some aluminum foil. You don't want to clamp that piece, just aluminum foil that piece. The reason being is we're going to do all of the securing at the base of this, around the base of that elbow. We're going to use some iron hanger here and some screws, and just make sure that you do 1 loop around the elbow and add a clamp. That should be enough to secure it. Outside with the vent hood, we've got a caulk gun with caulk. And what we're going to do is take our vent hood. We're going to do about maybe 2 or 3 beads around like so. And we're going to leave a little gap at the bottom there so that water can escape if there's any moisture that's behind this vent hood. You just press it up against the siding like so, and you're going to add those 4 steel screws. And if they change their siding in the future, they'll just pop this off and you can pop it back on. It's that simple. And just give it a shake, make sure it's secure. So this is a 14-foot run. That's 2 separate 8-foot semi-rigid ducts that we have to combine. Over here in the vent hood, we did aluminum foil with a clamp on top. Here in the middle, we had to do a connector with aluminum foil around it. And it's just another view of it, how it looks. To the elbow, we've got another clamp with aluminum foil. So along the route, we're going to add these perforated iron hangers, and we're just going to mount them with those screws to those joists. The whole goal here is a fully pressurized system that is as level as possible, because the more level it is, the easier it is for the dryer's hot air to blow all the lint completely out of the system. So there it is, 14 feet, and it's all metal. Install in-house dryer vent ductwork. So if you're like me, you may need a drywall knife to open up more space, and I had to add an additional connector for more length, and that's just because of the connection to the dryer. And here you're going to get some drywall and a box cutter, and you're going to cut it just like this in order to create what is known as a California patch. And I've basically measured that out with tape measure to determine exactly how much drywall I will need to patch the wall that I had to open to do a bunch of different things. You can use one thumb to get the California patch. And basically what you do is you're going to add some mud or joint compound right there, and then you're going to screw the drywall into a wooden shim. And that's what secures it to the wall. So here's the wooden shim, and you can either do it this way or that way. And then you're going to take the drywall and you're going to put it correctly up, align it to the wall, and then screw it in. And also don't forget to harness with that iron hanger the top of your elbow. Basically, I have a piece for the left side, a piece on top, and 2 shims and 4 screws and my hand screwdriver. That's all I need. I'm going to apply my joint compound or mud. And this is my first coat of mud. I'll let it dry overnight. And then I'll add another coat of mud and let it dry. Put some duct tape on the duct there for safety. And then just use your finger just to test. It should feel very strong. Then you use a sander, and the wet side or the sponge side you will wet with water. And then you flip it, and the hard side will sort of let you fan out the mud to make it look smoother. Then you can use an HVAC sealant or silicone sealant. Very high temperature. It will be basically fire resistant seal that's around the metal. I do recommend you use that in case it gets really hot. You don't want it on the drywall. So then sand it down very smooth and add your 2 coats of paint. And then you can also, touch up and do the semi-gloss trim if you'd like. Build all metal dryer vent hose. So this is all metal, and it's the most custom piece of the entire system. You're going to want to make sure that the hose is custom fit to your dryer. The distance between the wall elbow and the fitting on the back of your dryer needs to be measured. So by default, this is at like 10.5 inches, but after I tested it, I only need 9.5 inches. So I'm going to cut it with a tool that'll be in the video description, specifically designed to cut ductwork. And I'm also going to lay this down in the orientation that it's going to be in when I put it on. The first thing I'll do is I'll put the aluminum tape on the ends, and then I slide the clamps on top and tighten it down. Now keep in mind, you can remove these clamps now and then put them back on after the tape is applied. You don't have to keep them on the unit. So as you can see, I applied a bunch of tape. I want to make sure that this is airtight. And then I can just take my screwdriver, loosen this, and put the band over the aluminum tape. And so I have an airtight seal with the tape. Everything's oriented correctly according to how it will be on the dryer, how it will be connected to the dryer, and then I make sure that I use my screwdriver to screw it in. But don't immediately tighten it all the way down. Tighten it until it's tight, but still able to move the clamp, and then make sure the clamp is aligned correctly before you tighten it all the way down with your screwdriver. And this will last for 30 years easily. And there it is, completely airtight and custom fit to your system. Connect dryer vent hose. All right, we're almost done. We've got these twisty clamps that we're going to apply, and make sure you attach your custom fit to the wall first. Makes it a lot easier to attach it to the fixture on the back of your dryer. Slowly back up your dryer into it. Make sure that you have the other twisty clamp. Twist it down, make sure it's nice and snug, and you can see we've got a custom fit. And we've maximized the amount of space in our laundry room. Fill crawlspace gaps. So as one of the final steps, we have to fill the gaps and cracks in the crawl space. We've got some great stuff. It's a gun and a canister. You can loosen that in order to get more coming out. And we do this last because we want to make sure we don't have to move any of the pieces of the system. And this is pretty much it, guys. Run dryer, check for leaks inside and out. So basically you turn the dryer on. You could put some clothes in if you wanted to, but you don't have to. And then behind the dryer, you're going to check your custom vent hose. Make sure that there isn't any air escaping. Try not to touch the metal with your bare hands, but you're going to be checking to see if there's any loss of pressure. Next thing, go into the crawl space and do the same thing. You're going to check all along the run, all down the line, and make sure that there isn't any air leaks that are occurring. You shouldn't feel any air coming out. Finally, you're going to go outside to the vent hood, and it's the same deal. You're going to put your hand underneath. You should feel hot pressurized air coming out. If you put anything in the dryer like clothes, you might even see some lint, but otherwise you won't see any lint yet. I do recommend you do an actual load of laundry. If you've done like 1 or 2 loads of laundry and you see no lint coming out, there's probably a problem occurring. So if you liked what you saw, like and subscribe. And use the Amazon links if you want to buy any parts that I used for this video. It's all in the video description. And I've also got donation links in there as well. So thanks, and keep doing it yourself.